In business, data can be the difference between profit and peril. Informatica helps the biggest players make sense of the data that they need to succeed. But will Informatica itself be at the center of the data management revolution?
If you want to get a handle on the hottest themes in tech, the ones that can work even in a down market like social, mobile, cloud, Internet of Things, sometimes you need to go off the tape with the privately held companies that are really actually leading the way. Companies like Informatica. That's the world's #1 independent provider of data integration software. When we were out in San Francisco last week, we heard a lot about big data, how companies are harnessing the vast quantities of digital information that we create every day. But if you actually want to analyze all this data, first you need a firm like Informatica to organize it properly. Consider it just a fire hose turned into something you can drink from. And look, this is not some fly-by-night startup. It's a real company. It was taken private for $5.3 billion last year by Premier Advisors and the Canadian Pension Plan Investment Board. These investors recognize that big data is now a big, lucrative business. I think they're right. So I was happy to get a chance to speak with Anil Chakravarthy. He's the CEO of Informatica last week. Take a look. You know, we hear a lot about big data and what it means for companies, but I need you to tell us what it would mean for, say, someone who goes to Disney World.
Right. You know, big data is data that is not just the typical data that you find in a database, but other data that you can get about your customers. At Disney World, for example, you know, they have these bands that you go in as you go with Disney World. That's constantly telling them the customers, which rides they're going on, where they're in the park, how long have they been waiting, etc. And they then
how long they've been waiting.
Exactly, because they can tell the how long the wait line is.
Okay.
And then they can use that to make sure that their best customers have a great experience.
All right, so let's talk about that, because Informatica would be a company, I think now it's not public anymore.
Right.
But people should realize that in order to try to mine the data so that there's customers that you really got to cater to,
that's right.
They can't do it themselves. They don't have the ability.
That's correct, and that's where a lot of these data lakes come in. That's where a lot of
data lake.
Data lake, you hear that all the time.
Okay.
That is basically how do you bring together data of different types from your own data sources and from outside third-party data sources. You can bring that together and get business value out of that in a single environment. So in an example like Disney's, they have a lot of data about their own customers,
right,
those who visit the parks. They can also get third-party data, demographic data, etc. That's third-party data that they can get. And then they have all this data in real time. Which rides are these customers going to? What are they spending on it, their time and their money at different parts of Disney World? And bring that together to make sure they have a great experience.
I think that's important, because for some of our audience, if they haven't been to Disney World or taken their kids, look, it's a great value as a tremendous vacation.
Right.
But at the same time, when you spend a certain amount of money, you expect that they know you.
That's exactly right. And there the bar is going up. You know, last time we talked about Nordstrom.
Right.
You talk about Disney, the bar is going up, and the bar for customer experience is high. And, you know, you and I were talking right before the show. These kinds of trips are expensive for families, and they want to have a great experience. And companies like Disney provide a great experience now, increasingly using the data about the customer.
A lot of companies know that they can't beat them, join them, or have to be part of the Amazon ecosystem.
That's correct.
Again, that's not something that they would necessarily know how to do. You help them?
We help them a lot. We work really closely with Amazon Web Services. We've been a partner. They use our products. We use their products.
Amazon's a customer.
They are a customer of ours as well, and we are a customer of theirs. What we do with Amazon is we help customers, enterprise companies, customers who are using Amazon in a couple of different ways. One is they just want to operate their business better, which is they have data centers, but they want to be able to do the same thing on Amazon and do it better. That's table stakes now. What's new at Amazon, and that's something that's really driving the next revolution, is bring new types of data together, the kinds of data we're talking about, run it on Amazon and do things that you could not do in your own environment. So you want to be able to say, take data and you have a spike in your environment. So you want to do data crunching.
Right.
Basically, Amazon is the world's biggest supercomputer available right now.
Right.
And that you're able to use that data to provide a better customer experience, to understand your profitability, all kinds of things that were hard to do in your own environment.
And how quickly can you give them information if there's a spike?
Well, you know, basically, our services, they can buy by the hour.
By the hour?
Yeah, so you can turn it on You turn on your Amazon services, you turn on the data sources you need. Within a couple of hours, you have the analysis you need.
Now, you're a private company. How much is being private be able to make you take some more risks? Because I think people should know, can't buy stock in the company, but a private company can really go out there and say, okay, maybe I have to lose a little money at the beginning, but I can make a lot of money.
That's exactly right. And the other flexibility we have is we are able to change our business model to where the future is.
Right.
You know, the traditional software model has been you sell them a licensed software and then you charge maintenance on top of that. Now with Amazon, what we have announced by Amazon Marketplace is you buy it by the hour. You know, you just buy what you need, you buy it by the hour, and that's a huge change in our business model. And what we do is not only we sell them the service, it's not software anymore, we sell them a service, and then we make sure that their experience, just like Disney and others are doing, our customers' experience with us, they're happy with us, and then they buy more as they need. So it's a huge change in business model.
Right, and you do make more money as they go on.
Absolutely.
People have to know that that's how you make your money.
That's right. That's where we ride, whether it's Salesforce or Amazon, as their growth increases, our growth increases as well.
Excellent. That's Anil Chakravarthy. He is the CEO of Informatica. Now, understand, Informatica is a private company, but I need you to understand all sorts of companies so that you can make the best investment decisions. David Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.